talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard because yesterday, while I was having internet issues, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she sent a video message to her ex-husband, Ryan Anderson. And what's so crazy, you guys, is one thing that I realized in the video message that Gypsy sent. We're going to watch it together. We're going to react. I'm going to respond because for months, people have been telling Ryan, get over Gypsy. Why do you still talk about her? Why do you still bring her up? And every once in a while, Ryan would say things like, I got stuff I could release too. Tell your baby mama to stop texting me. And then he'd be like, no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. And I kind of wondered, like, when Gypsy released messages that Ryan sent her months ago, he said, he went live and he was like, I'm embarrassed, that she did that. But it is the way that I feel. Like, we were married, like that, she's still my wife. Yes, I have feelings for her, but I'm embarrassed that she put those out. And then he said, I have things that I could release too, but I choose not to because I don't want to do that to her. And then he did a poll asking, should he release, the stuff that he has? And of course, everybody in the comments was like, yeah, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And then he said, y'all are messy. I'm not going to do it. Y'all are messy. And here's the thing. He got so much crap. Ryan has gotten crap for months. People saying, you should get over her. Why are you still hanging on to her? She's moved on, blah, 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 blah. Well, in this video that Gypsy Rose Blanchard made just for Ryan, she acknowledges and admits that she has been talking to him, that she confided in him, that after she had, just 2 weeks after she had Aurora, she was contacting him. They were talking. She was like, all the times that we've talked, like, you've never said anything about, like, how bad I did you or something along those lines. Like, you've just never really said anything. It proves that, like, there's a reason Ryan hasn't, like, completely let go. And all these people that have, like, kind of attacked him, well, now we know why, right? And in my opinion, this video that Gypsy put out is nothing but manipulation. Gypsy knows that Ryan has a very soft spot for her. She knows this. But she got a lot of backlash the other day because she exposed some info about Ryan. And it did not go over well with the general public, right? So I think, this is my personal opinion, she made this video for Ryan, for one, to make Ryan feel bad because he does have a soft spot for her. That way he will put down his weapons and concede to the war that they've had, and he'll leave her alone and he'll stop exposing her. But also to make the public feel bad. Like, I think she's trying to manipulate Ryan to get him to stop so he doesn't expose anything else. And she wants the public to think that she feels bad in some sort of way. So I think this is such manipulation on Gypsy's part. And there's so many things in the video that I have thoughts on. So let's just bring it back a little bit and then we're going to watch the video. Here's what first happened, okay? So she leaves, whatever. She gets with Ken. She comes up pregnant. And the day of Gypsy's baby shower, Gypsy puts up some pictures of her at the baby shower, and she had dyed her hair brown. Well, Ryan has always been big on her having brown hair because when they started dating, she had brown hair. So he's a big fan of her brown hair, right? So he saw the picture of her with brown hair from the baby shower, and he sent her a message saying, you know how I love you with brown hair. This is not verbatim, but he's like, you know how I've always loved you with brown hair. You look so beautiful. I love you, Gypsy. You know I do. I only ever have eyes for you, blah, 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 blah. Well, Gypsy released those messages. She posted those messages publicly. Obviously, embarrassing Ryan. And then when she got backlash for releasing those, her friend Bree did a live saying, well, the reason she released those is because everybody accuses Gypsy of, being the reason Ryan can't move on. That, oh, you must still talk to him. There's a reason he can't move on. Like, what are you doing? So Gypsy put the messages out there so people could see that she's not talking to him, that he messages her, but she doesn't respond. It's not her, it's him. She's doing everything she can to move on. She wants him to move on. So she put those messages. Here's the messages. If my computer still has them up, and no, it does not. Of course, it doesn't. Okay, so this was the message. Get off there. You look so good as a brunette. Miss your voice. You know I do. Somebody commented on that and said, how could he miss that voice? I thought that was funny. Anyway, you still have my heart. I still have eyes only for you, Gypsy Rose. You really are the most beautiful woman in the world, just being honest. And like I said, she released these. She got a bunch of backlash. People, they were like, why did you do that? And like I said, her friend Bree came out saying, actually, I have the video of Bree. We'll watch that really quickly. Just Bree's like breaking down why she did this. So, and this is coming from one of my videos where we watched it. This is what Brie had to say. Why they released these. Keep this in mind because this is important. It's important. The reason she's claiming they released.
I have a lot of empathy for him. So just know that that's not my intentions. I'm sharing them because there's a narrative that has been pushed around that Ryan has helped push that is not true at all. People have been on Gypsy's ass about leaving Ryan alone, as if she's the one trying to get in touch with him, messaging him, texting him, calling him, when that is simply not true. And Ryan has helped push that narrative. He really has. Like, saying...
Yeah, Brie was in here and she was nice. I mean, I'm not going to be mean to the girl. Okay, where is my notes to... Okay, 7:25. So they released those messages because there's been a narrative out there that Gypsy will not allow Ryan to move on, and Ryan's not doing anything to stop the narrative, right? So that's one of the reasons they put those out there. I'll link this video in my description box if anybody wants to go listen to the rest of what she says. So, okay, she's telling us that she leaked these messages to show there's a narrative out there that Gypsy will not leave Ryan alone, that she won't shut it down, as obsessed with him. And we'll talk about that. Let's continue to listen to what she's going to say.
Saying things like, oh, yeah, she wants to see me, but no one will let her. Ryan, you know that that's not true.
That actually was kind of true. That actually was kind of true, even when Brie said Ryan was going to go see her, and Gypsy wanted to see him, but Ryan was not home, and Christy did not want Ryan coming over if Ryan was not home. So that actually was kind of true, right? He wanted to see her. She said she wanted to see him, but Christy wouldn't allow it because Ryan was not home. That was even played out on the show. Ryan even said, why didn't you let him come? And she said, because he don't like me, and I'm not letting him come here without you here. So that was proven. That's accurate. Like, I don't blame Ryan for looking at it that way, right? Because even in what they said, like that was accurate. Am I literally just missing everything? Where's the Facebook? All right, so here recently they started getting into it again, and more messages were released. That died down, to be quite honest. And let me tell you, if you're watching on replay, please don't tell me to get my stuff together to have my stuff ready, because I did have it ready. I had all my stuff up, and then my computer didn't work, and my husband had to come in here and like fix things, and then things got taken down and exited out of. So I had it ready, okay? All right, so that's how it started. Gypsy was the first one to show messages. That was Gypsy. And what was her reason? Because there was a narrative out there that Ryan was not putting the fire out with, right? Well, Ryan puts this out the other day. Like I said, Ryan has been called a liar. Why don't you get over Gypsy? Gypsy wants nothing to do with you. She's moved on. She loves Kim, blah, 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 blah. So Ryan releases this. And this is January 14th on a Tuesday. Gypsy messages him, are you with Amber J? I feel lost. Like, I don't know what is real anymore. And he said, say what? And then he put, don't ever think I'm lying. I speak the truth. So for the very first time, Ryan actually says, listen, actually, see, Gypsy does like play into this. Gypsy does kind of keep me on the back burner. Like even in last night's episode, like the way she calls his mom, and she still calls his mom. And he told her, he says, that kind of gives me like false hope, the way, like the fact that she still talks to you and calls you that, like why? So he's like, see here. Well, that made Gypsy mad that he released these. Mind you, he gets so much hate. He gets so much hate for not leaving her alone. That text around is alarming all by itself. Exactly. It really is. And this was after she had the baby. So after he puts that out, and listen, he puts it out for the same reason she put hers out. There's a narrative out there, and she's not, dispelling the narrative. She's allowing that narrative to be pushed, that she's moved on with her life, that she's not doing anything to make him think that they could ever get back together. The same reason she put those text messages out there to prove something to the people is the same reason he did it. Well, this makes her mad. And true Gypsy comes out, better be glad she did not have a knife, right? And she wasn't within the area, because then she literally outs Ryan for a certain medication that he takes. So she puts up this picture of towels and it says Secret Life of the Sweat Rag. Kid gloves are off, huh? Okay, Ryan Anderson. And she basically, and I'm not going to say what it is. I think this is low, 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 low. Because if someone is taking a certain medication, that's not the public's business unless they put it out there. It's not my business what Ryan takes. It's not my business what Gypsy takes unless it's like out there on the show when they talk about it. Like, okay, then we can discuss it. Like in Report Wood, talking about how she's on medication. Okay, it can be discussed. Ryan Anderson is a teacher. He already lost one teaching job due to Gypsy Rose Blanchard because he married her. When the students and their parents found out that he married Gypsy, he lost his job, right? He's a teacher. Gypsy's putting it out there that he takes a certain medication that could potentially cause him some issues, because it's medication that tells a story behind it, essentially, right? So she says, this is why he's forever sweating. It's not due to high blood pressure, which is why he told us. I think he told us that it was high blood pressure. And she's like, absolutely, no, it's not. This is why. That was low, low, low. Well, then Ryan releases this. And this is a message he sent to Rod. Tell Gypsy she better take her last post down about me or I'm going to sue her for a HIPAA violation and defamation. She has no right to tell people that, and I guess it's like that I'm on medication, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And Rod apparently shows this to Gypsy. And rather than Gypsy having class and saying, you know what, I did that man so wrong. I release messages first. He releases messages. Oh, well, it's even. Let me leave it alone. No, she screenshots the message and it says, texting my dad. I'm your ex-wife, not your medical provider. Do you want to stop now? At the Ryan Anderson. Which, girl, you started it. And do you guys remember? Listen, pay attention to what you see on the show now. This is how manipulative Gypsy Rose Blanchard is. Pay attention to what you see on the show. Even in this video that we're going to watch, she says, you taught me that, I need to be a better person. I'm sorry you fell in love with a piece of crap. She literally tells Ryan, it's not your fault. Like, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I just know what I want. Like, the heart wants what it wants. So now we're hearing all this. But do you guys remember when she left? Do you guys, the hate campaign, the smear campaign that her and Christy put out on Ryan, that he was controlling, that he reminded her of her mother, how controlling he was and how he was a hoarder and how he snores so bad at night and how his kitchen was filthy and his refrigerator was filthy. TMZ was putting article, like after she left, all these articles started coming out about how horrible Ryan was. And now after watching, we're seeing her say like it wasn't his fault. He was a great husband. He was my comfort. He's he's one of the few people that I trusted. Well, if this man is controlling and all this and that, why would you trust him? If he was so horrible, why would he be your comfort? Here's the thing. Gypsy Rose Blanchard left Ryan. She knew she was going straight into the arms of Ken. So she had to make it look like he was the bad person, that he was the bad guy, and that he drove her to Ken. When in reality, the second she found out that Ken was single and wanted to talk to her, that was it for her with Ryan. She just did not want to be portrayed as the bad guy in the situation. So she started a smear campaign against Ryan Anderson with TMZ. And now it's all coming out that actually Ryan was a great husband to her. Actually, he did all these great things for her, blah, 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 She's admitting to these things. So now let's watch the video. I think that's the last one. Yeah. So he puts this out months ago, or she does. She puts this out months ago. Then he puts this out, which makes her mad because it shows the public. Actually, while Ryan's been getting all this hate for a year or whatever, actually, wow, you do message him every so often and kind of keep him on the hook. You know what I'm saying? So let's watch the video. And this video is nothing but manipulation, in my opinion. And I'll stop and commentate on it. I'll play it through once, and then we'll go back, and I'll stop and commentate. That way, or actually, I'm not going to play it through because it's already up. If you want to watch just the video alone, it is up on my channel. You can watch just the video. For this one, I'm going to stop and commentate every time I got something to say. So bear with me. All right. First things how it's manipulative is she says, this is for Ryan. If you're not Ryan, keep scrolling. Gypsy knows nobody kept scrolling. When she said this video message is for Ryan, we all hit screen record. She knows that. Nobody left. She wants us to see it. So that is manipulation, in my opinion.
Video is going to be for Ryan Anderson, and if you're not Ryan Anderson, then keep scrolling. But I know y'all watch, and that's okay. But this video is not for y'all; it's for him. So I know that it's been about 3 months since we had any kind of text message exchange, and I know it's been really.
She says it's been 3 months, mind you, 3 months.
Hard. For you watching the show for the first time. I know it was all filmed, but I know that you don't. So I understand that you're reacting to things in real time, just like I am. So I'm sorry for not giving you that grace. I do want to say, like, this is going to be kind of a long video of me just putting out what's on my heart. And I know that it is hard to watch things that we have said and things that happen, even if it was 6, 7, 8 months ago, whatever. I understand that it's the feelings are happening in real time. And I want you to know that it is extremely hard to watch you have to go through these emotions. And I understand that when you are doing live streams, you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your mind and your peace. And I'm never going to filter you for doing that.
Yes, you want to. You want to filter him from speaking how he feels. That's the whole point of this video. You want to filter him.
But whenever you put out text messages between you and I,
like you did already,
that I think are sacred, that should,
like when he was in his feels, feeling very sad, and sent you the message about you looking beautiful with your. Why did you have to put that out?
In my opinion, be sacred between us. And when I mean sacred, I mean that there are very few people I trust in this world. And I have always counted you as one of them. So whenever I reached out to you when I was 2 weeks postpartum and I didn't know how to handle my emotions, I just had a baby. My whole life changed. My literal whole life changed in an instant.
And that was on you, girlfriend. That was your fault. You literally got married in prison, got out 3 months later, you're with your ex-man, and 2 weeks later, you're pregnant. That is on you. This, honestly, if you would have got pregnant by Ryan, that would be one thing. That would be on him to help you through it. But it's not Ryan's position to help you. And the fact that he even answered and talked to you and let you lean on him, he didn't owe you that. And that's the difference. And I'm glad you said that so I can say that. Is the reason she's so offended by him putting those messages out is because she thought she had Ryan in the palm of her hand. Gypsy Rose Blanchard thought she had Ryan Anderson in the palm of her hand. Am I frozen? Why is my computer not working? In the palm of her hand. She thought, oh, I can talk to him. I can tell him my secrets. I can let him know when me and Ken are having problems. He's not going to tell anybody. He's not going to say anything. He loves me so much, he would never do that to me. Because for months, 4 months, Ryan has barely said anything. He has not said anything bad about her. You know, he might, cut up every once in a while and say something about Ken. But as far as like really going off on Gypsy, he hasn't done that. So that's the difference. Is Gypsy thought she had Ryan in the palm of her hand. So she thought, oh, I can send him messages. He's not going to post them. He's not going to share them. But he could never feel the same about her, obviously. Because the first time he sent her a message saying how pretty she was and the brown hair and blah, 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 she posted those. So that should tell her right there that, like, you held him to the standard that you didn't hold yourself to.
I don't regret having Aurora. I don't. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. But I leaned on you. I leaned on you because I trust you. That is not something a lot of people I can say about. When I felt distant from Ken during those first few weeks postpartum, I vented to you. I told you everything that was on my heart and in my head.
I would be upset if I was Ken. True story.
And I thought that that was going to stay between us. Did I tell Ken? Eventually I did. But I never aimed to hurt you.
Just because you didn't aim to hurt him doesn't mean you didn't hurt him. Those are empty words. Those are empty words to tell someone that you completely broke them. She completely broke Ryan Anderson, completely devastated him, annihilated him. It's like, oh, but I didn't mean to. What the hell you thought was going to happen? It's kind of like when they, on an interview with Andy Cohen, he said, you know, what did you think was going to happen when people found your mom deceased? Like, did you think about them coming looking for you and trying to figure out who did it? She was like, well, I didn't think that far in advance. I didn't think that far ahead. Your actions have consequences and they hurt people. Doesn't matter if you mean to. First off, anybody with some sense is going to know leaving their husband saying, I love you, I just need space. And then 2 days later, you're hand in hand with your ex-boyfriend, you know, on front of Facebook and People Magazine and TMZ, it's going to hurt them. And then a month later, pregnant, that's going to hurt. I don't like when people that hurt somebody so much, like Amber Portwood, who hurts Leah. It's like, well, I didn't mean to hurt you. What did you think?
It was never about hurting you. It was always about what the public might think, the public persona. And I think what gets to me, and I've vented this to your mom, is that you have your TikTok personality and then you have the real Ryan Anderson.
Oh, like I bet, you know, I bet Ryan's like, you got the real Gypsy that I married, that I met. She was in prison and I was her everything. And then you have the TikTok Gypsy. I mean, if you saw her latest TikTok, it was kind of wild. She was like, what did she say? I'll punch back hard. I mean, she had this like, I guess she was trying to use like a down south accent. She was like, I'll punch back hard. I can't do that accent. If you want to punch, I'll punch back hard. I can't even do it. And people was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking like that? Like, you are, here's the thing. People can be nice and be great husbands, whatever, but then when you do them wrong, get upset and react and respond. And the fact that he did not react and respond for so long, and it took him as long as he did, speaks to his character. Because if it was me, I would have spoke out the second you started acting like I was crazy. The second people started calling me crazy and acting like I was, you know, fawning over somebody that wanted nothing to do with me, that had moved on already, and you didn't set it straight, I probably put it out there. He didn't for months and months and months and months. Ryan kept his composure. He kept his loyalty. He stayed genuine to who he was. And then it was only after you put messages out, you refused to let people know, like, hey, actually, I have kind of let him on. I've talked to him. I did X, Y, and Z. It took forever for him to finally be like, oh, actually, here, guys. Meanwhile, he marries this woman, and literally just months after you get out, you're a completely different person. Like, somebody can be driven to act out of their character, and then there's some people that the fakeness is not really their character, and that's Gypsy. The fakeness is not her true character. That's her public persona. That's, oh, I want everybody to think I'm this great person and that I've learned so much and I'm blah, 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 blah. But then the second something happens, I'm going to show you guys who I really am. And then there's people like Ryan, that is who he is. He is this big-hearted, genuine person, I think. But then you kept poking him, and you kept poking him, and you kept poking him, and you kept poking him, to where he finally was like, here, I'm going to show you what I got. This is not a matter of him being two different completely people. This is the matter of a man that got pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and he finally did something about it. And it's so hypocritical, and it's such manipulation for you to tell him that, because Ryan will probably watch this and be hurt. Like, oh my goodness, like I don't want her to think that I'm not this person. I am this person. I don't want her to think that I'm like, she can't trust me. She can. It was just a moment of like frustration and aggravation and her not doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably really going to do what she wants it to do to him. It's going to manipulate him when he should feel absolutely okay with what he did.
And those two are two completely different people. So when I see you on TikTok acting the way you do, talking the way you do, doing your polls, that's not the man that I married. The man that I married went on Facebook once a month because I asked him to. You didn't do social media. You didn't care. It was never about the public back then. And it's so hard to see what you have become.
Ooh, you are manipulative. Every time I see that part, I just want to, because you are being manipulative, Gypsy. And if you can't see that, somebody that loves you needs to tell you this is you being manipulative. You are manipulating him to make him feel bad after he went so long with being attacked. Every time that man goes live, people come in there bringing your name up. So he'll respond and answer questions. Then the other people, they're like, why are you talking about Gypsy? You can't stop talking about Gypsy. And then she'll say that, why can't you stop talking to me? Keep my name out your mouth. Stop talking about me. Why is my name out of your mouth? Like, girl, shut up. You were just messaging him 2 weeks ago. And he ain't told nobody. Who you become? You drove him to become that. That is so rich coming from the girl who called him Mr. Right? Girl, you need to go to therapy. You need to tell your therapist, this is what I did. For months, he didn't say nothing. He finally said something, mind you, after I released our messages. After I put out our messages first. Months later, he continues to get attacked. Then he puts out messages. And I am so mad about it that I out him for a certain medication that he's on, that could cost him his job possibly. Like, then I tell him that if he wants to, like, anything that he does, I'm going to come back harder. Like, you are manipulative, Gypsy. This is such manipulation, and I am mind blown. The person that you've become. What do you think is going to happen? It's kind of like, allegedly. Gypsy, are you an unaliver? In Gypsy's mind, she's not an unaliver. She was pushed to that, right? Well, maybe some of Diddy's family would be like, I can't believe the person that you become. But in Gypsy's mind, she defends that with, well, I was pushed to it. That's the old link. I had to redo it because my audio wasn't working right. So, Gypsy, you understand, you should know better than anybody else that you can be pushed to do certain things. I mean, nobody should be pushed to unalive their mom. But I digress. The point stands that people can be great, good as gold, and their spouse doing things to them, like cheating on them, getting pregnant, then asking them, hey, can you come to the hospital to sign this paperwork, knowing I'm going to be there with my boyfriend having our baby? I want you to drive hours out of your way to come sign this paperwork for me. Do something for me. Let the whole world, think that he's like this weird psycho stalker dude that just won't get over you. Meanwhile, every once in a while, y'all talking in the background. The person he's become, eh? Wow. That's disgusting. And that's like big problems in my opinion.
So yeah, I get mad, I get frustrated, I get angry because I know that that's not
What about his feelings and everything you've done to him?
you. Where's the person that came to visit me when we had an argument and I told you, don't come, and then you showed up anyway? Where's the person that was there for me whenever my parents were on the edge of a divorce?
Gypsy feels like she should be able to cheat on this man, leave this man, attack him online, say horrible things about him, that he wasn't fire, it sucked. Ken did something that Ryan could never do. All these things. And it's like, oh, but don't do anything because then I'm gonna say this. Like, where's that man? Where's that man that came to visit me when I told him not to? Because, girl, that man, I mean, he should be gone. You're not going to mistreat someone. Someone can be great, good as gold to you, but you mistreat them, and they're not going to continue being good as gold to you. And he has been good to you way too long, in my opinion. This woman is, wow.
And Christy didn't pick up the phone for 3 weeks. And you were all I had. You think I forgot about that? I haven't. I hate that we keep doing this back and forth, trying to hurt each other. But we're not trying to hurt each other. We're trying to hurt each other's reputations. I hate the fact that we are trying to be at war with each other. But I know I just want the best for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to move on. I want you to move on with someone that's going to make you happy, that's going to love you like you should be loved. And I know that it's hard because I get it. I did you wrong, and I'm sorry for that. But every time,
sometimes sorry just ain't enough, girlfriend. Let him show his frustration every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
we would text each other, every time we would talk on the phone, you wouldn't really bring that up.
Every time we would talk,
we were civil, if not even friendly. So yeah, I am sorry that in all of this confusion and anger and disappointment, that seeing that text message that you released for what? For what?
Seeing that message you released of his, Gypsy, for what? For what? For what? I just feel like, how does she feel doing it? Because I feel dumb when I do it. For what? For what? I don't know. I'm like, does she not hear herself speaking? Because when I'm listening to her, I'm literally thinking, why did you release the messages you released? For what? For what? For what? To embarrass him? No, public perception, which is the same reason he did it, because he gets attacked as well. And you did not care at all. Gypsy only cares if she gets attacked. She doesn't care if Brian gets attacked. She's fine with him getting attacked.
Because you wanted to show that you are the truth teller on TikTok?
Like you did. Even Bree said it. Even Bree said that Gypsy is not leading him on. Ryan won't shut it down. So we're putting these out there so y'all can show that she's telling the truth.
Well, that hurt my trust. And so, yes, in turn, I put out personal information of yours that I knew that you didn't want out there. And it was wrong, and it was below the belt, and it was too far. And I'm sorry.
Oh, but you're sorry.
I truly am sorry.
All she has to do, apparently, is say, I'm sorry. Gypsy could unalive somebody, and it's like, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Leave my husband, cheat on him. I'm sorry. Have a baby with somebody else. I'm sorry. And it's like, but any of these other people do anything to her, it's like, you're not who I thought you were. What about the person that did X, Y, and Z for me? You're not that person. And it's like, yeah, Gypsy, and you're not the person nobody thought you were either.
Even if you give me many other jabs, I won't put out anything else about you.
We'll see, girlfriend. Please don't. Please
I'm not going to try to hurt you.
You've hurt him enough.
I know that in your heart you care about me. I know in your heart that you are a good person. And I'm just sorry. I'm sorry that you fell in love with a piece of shit like me.
I don't see tears. Oh, there's one. I think there's one. Maybe.
I always said Ken was my love, is my love.
Ken was my love, is my love.
But you were my comfort.
The reason Ryan was her comfort, though, is because Ryan let her treat him like crap. Ryan did whatever. They would get into an argument. She'd say, don't come visit me. And he would go anyways because he was like, no, like, you're my person. Like, I'm not giving up on us. Ryan did everything for her. You want a dog? I don't think it's a good idea. Oh my God. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get a dog. He did whatever she wanted to do, did everything to try to make her happy. That's why he was your comfort. Whereas Ken is not her comfort because Ken will tell her about herself. Ken's not a Ryan. Ken's already broken up with her and broke her heart one time, leaving her in prison where she could not call and talk to him to find out what was going on, where then he moved on and got another woman. Like, Ryan's controlling, but Ryan's not going to take you to a restaurant and then order your food for you. Food you don't like, then tell you to try it, almost force you to try it, and then say, oh, we'll try this. Like, maybe you'll like this. Then when the waiter comes over and is like, well, how's that? He's like, oh, yeah, it's good. He's like, oh, she's lying. She don't like it. Call you out publicly to humiliate you. Like, Ken did all that. If Ryan was controlling, then what was that? But this is why you can't have comfort in Ken, because Ken doesn't coddle you. Ken's going to tell you. If Ken's got something to say, he's going to say it. If Ken feels like you're wrong about something, he's going to say it. Whereas Ryan, I don't really feel like he spoke up that much. They kind of did and kind of ran things the way Gypsy wanted to. Ken is not like that. That's why Ryan was your comfort.
You
Right,
were my
Jay?
safe place because I knew you never would hurt me. And I'm just tired of this war, and I want it to end. I don't know what you think the alternative could be between you and I. That's where I get stuck at, is I can't keep texting you. I can't keep talking to you. I have a whole family. I'm in a committed relationship. I have a daughter with this man. Like, I don't know if, like, we can't be friends.
It's your fault he thinks y'all can be. If you quit texting him and ask him, are you with Amber J? Like, I don't know what to think about this. I'm so confused. If you're not leaning on him 2 weeks postpartum, he would not think that way. You are the reason he thinks y'all can be.
Do you understand what position I'm in? I know to you, as long as I keep talking to you, you feel some sort of connection, but that can't be. We can't do that. We're not at that space. All I could do is wish you the best, and I know that is finite, and that's definite. And I know this is all sinking in, that it's really the end now. But you will always have a place in my heart, and we will always have those good memories together. But that has to be it. Some people come in our lives for a season, others for a reason. And the reason you came in my life was to show me that I need to be a better person.
Only a good person can show a bad person how to be a better person, right? So, the whole smear campaign after she left Ryan, he's controlling, he's a bad person, he reminds me of my mom, blah, 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 blah. That was BS. And that just shows us how Gypsy manipulates people to believe her, to not like other people. Oh, well, he was controlling, so yes, I left him. He was a hoarder, which reminded me of my mom. I couldn't stick around for that. It reminded me too much of the house that I lived in. My mom hoarded so bad, and there was junk everywhere. So the fact that his kitchen was like that, like in his closet was like that, it really stressed me out, and it just put me, it triggered me. And the fact that I couldn't tell my sister about, us having a little oopsie where we didn't use protection because he got mad. Like, he was so controlling, and that just triggered me. I couldn't, this whole smear campaign after she left Brian was nothing but to take the heat off of her because she knew she was going right back to Ken. By the time she left, she knew she was going to be connecting with Ken. She probably connected with Ken before she even left Ryan's house, to be quite honest, right? So she had to manipulate the public. Yes, she called him an abuser. Yes, So she had to manipulate the public into saying he's the bad guy. Yes, I'm leaving, but I'm leaving because he's the bad guy. He's horrible. There's no way I can be with him. In my opinion, and if you watch Becca Scoops, you might know why I feel this way. But in my opinion, kind of the same way, like same thing she did with her mom. Like, yes, I unalived her or I got somebody to unalive her, but I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay living there because of all these horrible things that she did. I was a prisoner in my own house when research shows that her mom, Dee Dee, was literally like bound to the bed at this point. She was in horrible health. Gypsy was pretty much having to take care of her because Dee Dee was like not doing well. Dee Dee went to Dee Dee was a con. I'm not saying Dee Dee was innocent. Dee Dee was a con. She would, scam the theater out of movie tickets once or twice a week so she could bring Gypsy and her friends in the neighborhood to see movies. She conned so they could go to Comic-Con. She scammed so they could go to Six Flags or Disneyland or whatever. Like Gypsy's like, all we did was stay at home and in the hospital. Like, girl, there's pictures of you out there and out and about, like singing on stage. A country music artist who literally said, like, we met her. We all met her. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we were her, like, Make-A-Wish or whatever. Like, your mom, yes, she had problems. I completely understand Amazing Grace. I completely understand. Like, yes, she had her issues. And I'm not saying she was right in everything that she did. I do think there were some things that she did that was wrong. But I think Gypsy wanted it to look as worse as humanly possible. So it's like, well, yeah, I got somebody to unalive her, but I had to. I was going to be a prisoner for the rest of my life. So I think what she did to Gypsy, what Gypsy did to Dee Dee, she did to Ryan, and eventually she may do to Ken. If her and Ken ever break up, and it may be even worse. Well, not worse than what she did to her mom, but it may be worse than what she did to Ryan because they have a child now. Gypsy has a child with Ken. So if it ever gets to the place to where she doesn't want to be with Ken anymore, which I think it would take a lot, because I do think she really loves Ken as much as she can love somebody. But if it ever gets to the point to where she wants to really leave Ken and she wants to ensure that she's going to have that baby, who knows the picture she will paint about Ken. This video, in my opinion, was nothing but manipulation to manipulate Ryan into, like I said, putting the weapons down, waving the white flag. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. You look at me like I'm not the person that you thought I was. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't want that. He's gonna wave the white flag, I think. And she wants the public to look at her like, oh my goodness, you really do have a heart. Like you have been struggling and you went through something after postpartum and you made a mistake of reaching out to him. But now you're owning it. You told Ken and now you're trying to set that boundary, like good on you. Like, no, girlfriend, that's not what we see here. I don't know anybody that does see it. Like, I'm curious. You know what I'm saying? Like how, where, but this is just manipulation in my opinion. And I think it's disgusting. Ryan, block her, leave her alone. And Ryan has like women all in his chat. Like, take me out on a date. Like, I'll come visit you. I'll take you to Chili's. I've literally been there before where women are like, can I take you out on a date? And he's like, depends on where. And she's like, I'll take you to Chili's. And he's like, he has women, that really are trying to talk to him. And I don't know if he has or he hasn't, but he should, in my opinion. He should definitely move on from Gypsy because she has been nothing but a problem for him and nothing but manipulation to him. But I do have the whole video up. It's only like 10 minutes long without interruptions. If you guys want to go watch it with no interruptions, just to kind of get the full gist of it, you can do that. I have a few videos that we're going to do today. A video that we were going to do yesterday about Garrison Brown, the Sister Wives, the Brown family. The most recent episode of Sister Wives was the episode where they reacted to Garrison's passing. They all talked about how who tried to diagnose Dee Dee? I didn't diagnose her at all. I think I just said she did some things that I don't think were great, but I also don't think she did everything. But I haven't said one diagnosis. I haven't said anything. Like, I'm actually not one of those people that say she has Munchausen by proxy. I don't say that. So maybe you came in just assuming I was going to say it, or maybe you're talking to somebody else. I don't know. Oh, because I'm like, I ain't said nothing. I'm like, I actually don't say it anymore. Like at first, like when that was all what was being said, I said it, but I actually quit. After a while, I was like, no. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, Mac, that I read your comment and just thought, yes, Mac. I just scrolled up a little bit. Um, so anyways, you guys, y'all leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, Melissa, I am very close to this case and have spoken to family members. So yes, I know. Got you. We're gonna do the one about Garrison. I have another live stream that Gypsy was on last night. Last night, Gypsy was on a live watching the most recent episode of the show, and it showed Ryan talking to his mom, and it showed Gypsy's little fake response, in my opinion. And then Amber went live last night too. Amber Portwood from Team Mom went live last night, spiraling, saying that her daughter is like brainwashed, that Gary brainwashed Amber, Leah, saying that Leah is being taught to be judgmental, and that Leah is being taught to be unforgiving, and that she Amber has nothing to be sorry for anymore. Um, Thank you, Mac. Thank you. I'm sorry that I jumped so quick to say something. I actually hate when I watch creators and they do that. Then I just turn around and did it. So I do apologize for doing that. Ken is the father. They did 2 DNA tests at this point, I think. So we're gonna do. I have the 2 videos of Amber. I'm about to release them right now. They're both about 26 minutes long. I'm going to release the full videos, but I'm also going to come back today to watch them with you guys because I got comments, and those are going to be some long lives. We're also going to do the Garrison video today. So I have at least 3 more videos planned today, 3 more lives today, 2 where we're going to watch Amber, and then the one where we're going to talk about Garrison, and we're going to show clips from Sister Wives where they broke down like how that day happened for them. Janelle breaks down how the day happened for her when she found out that Garrison, had passed away, and all those things. So, and I may go live tonight just for like a hangout, depending. Tomorrow, my son has his baccalaureate, so if I hit 100K tomorrow evening, I won't. I'll go live as soon as I get home. But anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys back here later. Bye, guys.